A parachute opens in 3 seconds, but venting air, not fabric strength, stops it tearing. That catch grabs a body falling at 200 kilometers an hour, using material thinner than a bedsheet. You'd expect that jolt to shred the canopy instantly. It doesn't. And the reason isn't that the fabric is superhumanly strong. The real trick is that the parachute is deliberately built to leak. Picture the numbers for a second. A skydiver in free fall is at terminal velocity, roughly 200 kilometers an hour, all their weight slamming into a sheet of fabric the moment it fills with air. If that canopy caught every bit of that air instantly and held it perfectly sealed, the pressure spike alone could blow the panels apart or snap the suspension lines outright. Something has to soak up that violence before it ever reaches the seams. Most people picture a parachute like a giant, bulletproof net, as if the fabric itself is just rugged enough to shrug off getting yanked open at highway speed. That's not what's actually happening, and it's not even a new problem. Sailmakers have known it for centuries. A sail that's too airtight in a sudden gust doesn't flex to spill the wind, it just tears along the seam. A parachute has the exact same weakness, and engineers designed around it instead of chasing thicker, tougher cloth. The real answer is that a parachute is built to spill air on purpose in more than one place at once. Instead of sealing shut and taking the full hit in one instant, the canopy is engineered with escape routes for pressure, so the load spreads out over both time and space rather than slamming one patch of fabric all at once. That's the difference between catching a wave and getting flattened by it. The first trick is timing. On a modern sport parachute, a small square panel called a slider rides down the suspension lines as the canopy deploys, physically choking how fast the fabric can spread open. Instead of the whole canopy popping wide in a fraction of a second, the slider stretches that inflation across about 3 seconds, turning one violent jolt into a smooth ramp. The second trick is in the fabric itself. Round canopies carry a vent at the very top, a deliberate hole that lets a stream of air spill straight through instead of building up underneath. Even the nylon weave isn't fully airtight. It's rated in cubic feet per minute for a small, controlled amount of air to pass directly through the threads. That constant bleed keeps pressure from ever concentrating hard enough in any one spot to blow a seam. That controlled leak does double duty. Without it, a canopy would violently overinflate, oscillate wildly, and risk collapsing sideways mid-descent as trapped air sloshes from side to side. With the vent bleeding pressure evenly, the canopy holds a steady, stable dome instead, and the jumper drifts down under it rather than swinging like a pendulum under a bag that's fighting itself. So a parachute doesn't survive that opening because it's the toughest fabric ever sewn. It survives because it's engineered to let just enough air escape at just the right moment, in just the right places, that the shock never concentrates anywhere long enough to tear. The strongest solution here wasn't more strength, it was a smarter leak. If that flips how you'll look at the next parachute you see, that's the whole point of this channel. We keep cutting things open,